Come to Helmuth Ford, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shuttler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
Steve Shuttler Media once again proudly presents Pekin High School football live video streams each Friday night this fall with home and away games and the playoffs. Tune in Friday nights for Pekin High School football right here on Steve Shuttler Media, Facebook, and YouTube. Central Empire Wrestling presents Bridge City Slam 7, Saturday, September 6th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa, Iowa. The Legends Fan Fest starts at 4 p.m. and the wrestling show at 7 p.m. Tickets start at $20 and you can get them at bridgeviewcenter.com. See such former WWE stars like The Godfather, Christy Hemme, Jacqueline Moore, and the Vaudevillains, plus current TNA stars Frankie Kazarian and Masha Slamovich, and many, many more. It's Bridge City Slam 7, Saturday, September 6th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa, Iowa. Skunk River Radio, country music from 1990 through 2010 with some Iowa country music sprinkled in. Listen at skunkriverradio.com, download the app, listen on Alexa by saying, Alexa, play Skunk River Radio on TuneIn. You can listen to me, Steve Shuttler, each weekday morning from 6 a.m. to noon, and listen to The Haze from noon to 6 p.m. Skunk River Radio, online radio for country music from 1990 to 2010.
Attention Iowa business owners. Is your business missing sales because you're too busy to follow up? Every missed call or delayed message could be costing you money. At Easy Biz Tech, we help local businesses stay ahead by automating customer follow-up, so no lead gets left behind. Missed a call? Our system texts back instantly. Need personalized outreach? We send automated texts, emails, and even use AI-powered voice agents to connect with your customers 24/7. Stop losing money because of slow follow-up. Contact Easy Biz Tech today, where Iowa businesses win online.
And welcome into the sports section. We are live at Barn Wired at 119 East Marion Street in Sigourney. A fantastic place to stop by and get your Saturday morning going with some breakfast and some coffee on what is kind of a crisp fall morning. It's not even officially fall yet, but hey, we're hanging out here at Barn Wired, and you should too. Let's take a look at our area scores before we get things going this morning. Our AE Realty area high school football results from last night. Find AE Realty in Montezuma, Iowa. And on our scoreboard, of course, Pekin had the big win, as you saw here on Steve Shuttler Media, 68-20 over New London. It was Sigourney Keota coming up short against Wilton. 19-14 was your final there. Montezuma blasts Wayne 63-20. Had Madrid over North Mahaska 50-0. It was Burlington outscoring Oskaloosa 45-31. On page 2 of our scores, we had English Valleys outscoring HLVTC 52-32. Dallas Center Grimes took it to Ottumwa 49-0. It was Albia blanking Central Lee 30-0. Same thing for the Linville-Sully Cardinal game. It was another shutout, 50-0 in favor of Linville-Sully. And then East Marshall defeated EBF last night 21-16. Let's start things with our fall football host, Mr. Andy McGuire, taking over the hosting duties, and we're going to start things off as usual during the football season with Pekin football. Andy, take it away.
Back in the saddle, Steve. Good to be here,
yeah.
And great to be back with Coach Weber. And we have Elijah Brock, new face to this show from the Pekin Panthers. Elijah, we're going to start with you. I'm going to throw an off-the-wall question at you to get the juices flowing here. Does the team have a nickname for you?
Bubbles.
All right, I need to know more about this. How do we call you Bubbles?
I don't know. We were kind of on the bus back from, I think it was during basketball season, and we were all just telling jokes, and one of my buddies, Hudson, he just says that, I don't know, my personality's kind of like Bubbles, they said, you know. I don't know, like if I get popped, I get mad or something. So I go by Bubbles on the football team.
He is really happy all the time. It's not. I don't know if I've seen a bad day out of him.
Well, you got to have that on a team, don't you, Coach? And I'm sure you're all bubbly this morning after the big win last night, 68-20 over New London. Coach, what was working for you last night?
First play on offense, 52-yard touchdown to this guy. So that was working. And actually, what's more impressive is we have a couple audible checks where receivers are able to check themselves into a different route depending on what they see. They kind of communicate it to the quarterback, and won't give too much away. But he signaled something to them, and then he saw something right away, and we hit him for a deep ball right out the gate. So pretty proud of we do a lot in practice that doesn't always show up in games, or hidden some hidden things, and that was one of them. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I was looking at stats last night, and he busted a big one. But he also ran for a lot more than that. What did I have him at, like 184 yards and a handful of touchdowns? A lot of different running backs last night. I mean, obviously, if we're putting 68 points up, there's a lot of work going on there. Can you talk about that stable of running backs you had going last night?
Yeah, first credit. O-line did a good job last night. And, Nolan Glick finally got going. I put him in last night, but it was late. But I think he had 3 touchdowns on the ground. And he busted a lot of big ones. He's got track speed, but he's also ran a lot more physical the last couple of years. And then Riley and Henry also, getting involved. And then Elijah ran a jet sweep to our left and kind of got stuck off the edge by the linebacker. And I looked at Coach Mose. I go, run it the other way again. And the second time he busted out a little more vicious and ran it and got his rushing touchdown. So, sometimes you got to keep feeding the beast a little bit. But, we were able to – I think we only threw 3 or 4 passes last night, which actually is kind of uncharacteristic of us. But we were able to kind of run the ball however we wanted, and then, points kind of piled up there.
Yeah, and last week you talked to AJ about Riley being the new quarterback taking over for Will from last year, and how Riley might be a little more of a pocket presence guy, but he's still, sneaky quick coming out of that pocket if you need to. Probably didn't see much of that last night out of the quarterback with the number of yards he had on the ground.
We had a few QB designed runs that he did. There were a couple scrambles he did a good job of. But, yeah, for the most part it was, we're just pounding the rock. And then both touchdown passes, Riley, were from the pocket, a quick one to him on a streak. And then Henry's was right up the gut on streak as well. So, yeah, I mean, wasn't a lot of rollout or scrambling around last night.
So, Elijah, with this many rushing yards, Coach mentioned it, it's about the line play. And everybody remembers from last year, I'm a line guru. I got to give love to the big boys. Why don't you give a shout-out to your line guys. Tell us who's on that line and who's blocking for you.
I've got Jonah. I don't know how to go, right across, but Jonah, Brenton, Cal, Sammy, and Gatlin? Cal. Oh, how I forget Cal. And Gallon. Kind of going in and out a little bit, but those are my dudes.
Those are your dudes. All right. Why don't you tell me about these dudes? There's something that the crowd loves is to know what these guys are, who these guys are, what they're like. Give me a little personality rundown on each one of those guys, if you would.
All right. Well, Jonah, he's just kind of a big baby is how I think of Jonah. Every time I score, he comes and picks me up. So he's my big baby. Kind of got to get mad to get going, but then Cal, he just brings the energy to every game. If we're feeling down, he'll be screaming at us to get going, and that just that energy just gets going. Let me see. Hudson's just he's so funny. He'll make a tackle and he'll start screaming and jumping around and come dab me up and say, "Hey, Bubbles," get us going. Brenton, he's been friends with him for a long time. He's just one of the people that has to kind of get a little angry to just really get going in the game. So gotta love Brenton. And then Cal. Oh, I already said Cal. Who was I missing? Sammy. Well, was he playing center?
He's the center.
Yeah, I know. Sammy's playing center. He's my friend. I have him in a lot of classes. He doesn't do too much, but when he does, it's gonna mean a big difference. And he's just a nice guy, quiet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can see why they call you Bubbles, man. You had a smile on your face the whole way through that. Yeah. You can tell that there's this team chemistry there. Elijah, tell me about that from last year. We had the Adam brothers on last year early in the season, And you can tell a big difference between those two guys. You know, Will is pretty vocal, he's pretty outgoing, and Henry's maybe a little more business, a little more assassin to him a little bit. Yeah. Can you tell me what is the team chemistry like this year, and who stepped up, or who is continuing maybe even to be that vocal leader on that team?
Well, last year, one of the big people that were kind of loud and everything was Ike. I think Ike was a big, loud person, you know, running to get us going. But this year, I think Cal really stepped up for the line, being a loud person and getting all the energy going. He was like that last year as well. But then I think Henry also understands being QB and, like, needing to step up, and he's been a big leader on the team, I believe. And Carson Comstock as well. He hasn't played these first 2 games, but he's been in the warm-ups throwing us the ball and stuff, keeping us hyped, keeping us going, and I just really appreciate Carson.
Nice, very good. Okay, Coach, so 68-20 is your score last night. You did end up giving up 20 points. So is that maybe an area that we're going to work on this week in practice?
Absolutely. You know, we like I said, we got new bodies on the field, new challenges. Already thinking a little bit last night, like what can we do maybe to build on, you know, some of the strengths of the guys that are out there versus maybe some of the things we can eliminate that, you know, we're struggling with. But at the end of the day, a lot of these kids just haven't seen the field as much. So, you know, we'll continue to build on what we've been doing and not give up on that as well. But, yes, you know, honestly, they score, and this isn't an excuse. We just, you know, Coach Gentry and I talked a little bit last night. We had a late hit out of bounds on a 3rd and long that gave them a first down. They ended up scoring on that and on that drive. So it's just, you know, we felt like, well, that was on us that time. You know, and the other time I think we just had, you know, we give up 2 deep balls. And, you know, you take those 2 or 3 things away and we're right there because we bottled them up really well in the second half. But, yes, you know, our defense has got to improve and our offense has to improve, obviously, as well. But we'll continue to hammer on those things, and we need that first shutout, that's for sure.
A couple of early season lopsided scores. The success that you had last year, looking at your schedule this year, you guys got to be close to, or if not the odds-on favorites in district. I know as a coach you're going to say, I'm going to take this one game at a time and we're going to work through this. But when you have these early season lopsided victories like you've had, how do you keep this team engaged? How do you keep them challenged? And how do you keep them competing to go into the next week?
Well, just like this week, you know, we saw the stats from London Franklin. He was on one of the top 3 or 4 guys on bound stats, you know. Just because, you know, maybe, you know, they aren't expected to be, you know, they didn't finish where they wanted to last year, and everybody, I feel like we heard from outside, oh, you know, they're not good. And we took them serious this week, and I think no matter I don't like to look at who's favored. We try to focus on ourselves each week and, like saying, one game at a time. And anytime we could just go in with a humble mindset, which we tell our kids every Monday at our Monday meeting, is we got to focus on ourselves and what we struggled at in the last game so that we put ourselves in a better position. We want to win games that we should win in stellar fashion and not just get by. And I think that's, you know, we were talking a little bit about playing with an edge last night. If we played with an edge, we'd win. We might be able to win big. If we didn't, you know, we might lose or we might win close. We didn't want to lose or win close, so I think we got it together later, and then we're able to win big. So just having an edge each week, finding the positives in your opponent, and making sure you take those away from them.
So, Elijah, what are the team goals for this season?
Make it to the Dome, for sure, for me. Really cool experience. I want to go there. And obviously, I think I want to win all 8 of our games, for sure. I think that we're definitely capable, but as long as we're not thinking going into every game that we're just going to win, we'll be just fine. Because I think we scored like our 2nd or 3rd touchdown, and Coach was yelling at us on defense that we looked like crap. So, I mean, no matter if we're up or down, we're going to get yelled at to do better. So, and I also think that we can we're still pretty close, but I think the whole team can still just get even closer.
What do you think the key is to achieving those goals for the team as a whole?
I think for us all to achieve all those goals that we want, I think it starts in the classroom where we all got to like be focusing in class and not goofing around in school and just like make a name for ourselves. And then definitely at practice, not goofing around and like taking reps seriously instead of goofing and like just getting by practice. Trying your hardest in the practice, I think, will get us to all those goals.
That's fantastic. Gosh, you gotta love hearing kids say, we got to do well in the classroom. And normally it's football first and maybe classroom second, but the first thing he said was classroom. So another high quality individual coming out of Pekin. You're doing the right things down there, Coach. I appreciate you. Next week, who do you got?
We have Wapello, who passed for a lot of yards week 1. I'm not sure what they did last night, but just like we were talking, got to take like that. They're good. They're a good team.
What are you expecting? You said obviously passing. Tell me about Wapello defense. Have you looked at any tape, or when does that start for you?
It'll start today. It's last night. By the time you get done, it's pretty late. So it'll start today for coaches. And actually, we pull up our film viewing time of our players. We have a lot of kids watch film over the weekend when we come into our awards day on Monday each week, and we pull up who's been watching film. We got a lot of kids that watch a lot of film, so hopefully they've taken a brief look at them. But we'll get a report done over the course of the day, a coaches meeting tomorrow, and then meet with the kids right away on Monday. But I think they throw the ball well, and defensively, I don't know a ton yet, but I know they return a decent amount from last year. They do have a new coach this year, but I also know he knows football. So we're going to treat them like they're ranked number 1 in the state, and we're going to pick them, try to dissect their film, and be as prepared as we can.
So we have an Aaron Asks segment that comes during Jared's segment, and I'm going to dub this segment the Brent and Andy debate segment, because Dad Adam and I discuss football and Pekin football specifically. So this one's for you, Coach Weber. How much sleep do you get after the game into the next Saturday morning?
I know why he's asking you this, because we talked about Henry's pick 6 last week, and I'll be honest, I did send him an end zone clip after I did stats and watched the film last week, and it was pretty late. But on a normal night, my wife gets on me about this, but I probably only get 5 hours in season max. I struggle. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not trying to sound like that's something to brag about. It's just I'm up late, I'm up early, but yeah. I mean, on the weekends, Friday nights after game, I don't know. It's not good. It's hard. It's hard not to watch it.
Yeah.
Put stats in. You start watching a couple plays, and you want to keep watching a little more. And yeah. So I don't know. But it is important. You got to take care of yourself when you can.
Yeah, I know. Our suspicions have been confirmed, Brent, if you're watching this, that maybe Coach Weber doesn't sleep. And we're honestly worried about your health, sir, because we know that you have a football mind, and we love what you're doing down there. But at the same time, we need to keep you sustainable so you can keep guys like Bubbles over here going and keep the mission at hand under focus. But I would say this also. I need it for my health, because when you send those types of messages to Dad Adam at 2 in the morning or whatever time it was, they usually show up in my inbox, or it did show up in my inbox at like 5:30. So the sleep deprivation is being propagated by your bad habits. But anyway, we're rooting for you. Elijah, is there any other shout-outs you want to give before we wrap up this piece of the show?
My little brother, Elias, number 22, he's been really wanting to get varsity reps from the start of the season. He's been getting in there, and he's been having a lot of fun. He thinks he has a pancake. So I'm going to watch film today and see if he got a pancake. But definitely my brother.
Awesome. I love that. Little brother Elias is out there getting work done, and that's what it's about, is putting that work in and, biding your time and earning that spot. So for you young bucks out there, keep after. You'll get there. Coach, anything to close out?
No, just good team effort. Proud of our staff. I thought our staff did a good job throughout the game. Coach Mose did a good job. I thought he called a good offensive game, and Coach Gentry as well on defense. And we got good staff members to complement those guys. And shout out to Levi Olinger stepping in to run the clock right last minute last night. That was a big deal. So Yeah, just happy for administration support, and it takes a village to run a program. It's not just a few guys. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So hopefully we can keep the train rolling and keep the excitement up.
Hey, before you get out of here, let's say on the show here that, of course, we kind of had our pick of multiple players to be the player of the game last night on our broadcast. But the Daisy Dew Landscaping player of the game last night was Nolan Glick. That's who Josh and I picked. So you see Nolan's picture on the screen there. And then also want to bring up before you get out of here that obviously we're just getting underway with all of our weekly awards and our weekly polls. And Pekin football was voted our Emma Ratliff American Family Insurance Team of the Week for this first week of the school year. So congratulations on that, Coach. Obviously, you guys are getting some great support, as you mentioned, from the folks in the Pekin area. So, yeah, our Team of the Week, first out. So congratulations on that. Let's go ahead and take a break. We've got Montezuma football coming in next here on the sports section.
At Pekin Community Schools, opportunity isn't limited. It's everywhere. From FFA to music, business to athletics, our students explore it all. Small class sizes mean big advantages. Personal attention, strong relationships, and academic success that goes above and beyond. You're more than a student. You're a story, a voice, a vital part of our school family. From the classroom to the kitchen, every adult helps shape futures. At Pekin, pride runs deep, where everybody is somebody.
Schedule your next dental appointment with Dr. Dan Schuster at Oski Dental, 641-673-4845. They're accepting new patients. Oski Dental will file all of your insurance forms for you. They're a Delta dental provider. And Oski Dental is located at 902 South 17th Street in Oskaloosa. That's Oski Dental, 641-673-4845. We make smiles happen at Oski Dental. Stop by James Family Greenhouse and Produce in Sigourney. They have a variety of hanging baskets, annuals, shrubs, perennials, trees, mulch, and vegetable plants. Plus, you can spruce up your landscape with yard decor or decorate the inside of your home with home decor. James Family Greenhouse is also a great place to stop in for some gift ideas. You gotta stop in and see it all for yourself. James Family Greenhouse at 701 East Jackson in Sigourney. And be sure to follow their page on Facebook.
Looking for more than just a job? Find a career where you make a difference right in your community.
What I appreciate about First Resources is our dedication to innovation, always looking for ways to expand programming and offer greater opportunities for our staff and everyone involved.
First Resources staff are amazing. They're committed and they are motivated and they are fierce advocates to help clients meet their goals.
If you're ready to join a team committed to making a difference, apply online and join us at First Resources.
Build it together. Build it with Valley Lumber.
Are you building a new house or maybe wanting to do a remodel? Come check out our showroom at Valley Lumber and Hardware's Eddyville location. Cook kitchen cabinets, masonite interior doors, and more. Not sure what you want? Let us help with the design and layout of your new kitchen or remodel. At Valley Lumber and Hardware, we can help with any room in the house. From lumber for building to shower enclosures, paint, and more. Choose Valley Lumber and Hardware with locations in Eddyville and Albia.
The mission of Essence of Life Hospice is to provide comprehensive, coordinated care to individuals with life-limiting illnesses and to their families, and to support them in the process of death and bereavement. Our goal is to provide palliative care that addresses the physical, psychological, and spiritual dimensions of service for the terminally ill as an integrated whole. We pride ourselves on providing the highest quality care and are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, visit essencehospice.com. Hey, we thank all of our sponsors for making things possible here on Steve Shetler Media. The sports section live at Barnwired in downtown Sigourney. As we mentioned, great, fantastic place to get in on your Saturday morning for some breakfast and some coffee. Before we take it back to Andy, we mentioned right before the break that Pekin football was voted our Team of the Week. Emma Ratliff, American Family Insurance in Oskaloosa Team of the Week. So congratulations to Pekin football. Our Keokuk County Hospital and Clinic's Male Athlete of the Week because we split up the males and the females this year due to popular demand. Our Male Athlete of the Week is Chance Angle from North Mahaska Football. Congratulations to Chance. And then our Female Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Kelly Style State Farm Insurance, is Carly Gamble from Pekin Volleyball. So congratulations to all of our athletes and our winners on our polls on Steve Shetler Media. Look for the new polls to go up on Monday after this weekend's action, and we'll get back to it. All right, let's take it back to Andy. Andy, we're squeezing in everybody on the screen just barely this morning, but we've got Montezuma football in the house, and you and I were talking about this, Andy. I think this is Montezuma football's debut on the show, so welcome, Monty Football.
Absolutely. Welcome, Monty Football. And I think we might be cutting our teeth on 8-man football as well.
Might be, yeah.
So we have Blake, Brooks, and Dane from Montezuma 8-man football. And I'm going to do a little thing here, guys, and you say true or false. I'm going to name your position, true or false. Blake, cornerback.
Very false.
False? What? No way.
Yeah.
All right, Brooks, you are the center.
False.
False. And Dane, you're the coach. False. How did I know that I wasn't going to be right on that? Why don't you guys give me what positions you play and what class you're in, senior, junior, sophomore.
All
Blake,
right.
we'll start with you.
I'm a senior. I play center and nose tackle.
A senior. I play running back and linebacker.
I'm a junior, and I play receiver and running back.
So before we started this segment, I asked the guys who the most talkative was, and Brooks volunteered himself that he was okay as far as the talkative side goes. Guys, you got a huge win last night, 63-20 over Wayne Falcons. Brooks, let's start with you. How did that game go last night? Give us a quick rundown.
So we came in. We didn't want to underestimate Wayne. They're new to 8-man, so we didn't know quite what they had in store yet. So we wanted to just come out and do our thing and try to get out on top. And then so we had 2 early touchdowns to get up like 16-0, and then they had a big play. And so we just we said just be more physical, get out there and try to stop them there. And so we kept pouring on the points. Then eventually we ended up with the score we had. Yeah.
These 8-man games, I haven't watched a lot of 8-man football, got to be honest with you. But every time I see a score, my eyes are just like, holy cow, this has got to be one of the most fun things to watch and to play. How long has Montezuma been playing 8-man football? Can you give me a rough idea? Has it been a long time?
7 years, around there. Yeah, 6 or 7, yeah.
Yeah, does that go back like to the Eddie Burgess days? Was Eddie in 8-man
Burgess,
football?
yeah.
Is that when it kind of started? It's been a few years since he was around.
I think it was a year before he got there.
Because that was state championship caliber stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do remember that. Monty knows how to get stuff done. That's for darn sure, right, boys?
Yeah.
Right?
I'd say
Right, Blake?
so. I'd say so. Yeah.
You know where that starts, don't you?
Up front.
It starts up front.
Starts up front.
Out of the way, brother. I think you might be even my first lineman that we've had on this thing.
Really?
Yeah. So, me and Blake, we're best friends.
Yeah.
We'll call you Brennan, and I can be Dale.
Brennan and
you
Dale?
Get that? Do you get that reference?
Not really.
Dang it. Step Brothers?
Yeah.
Step Brothers?
Oh.
You get it? Yeah, thanks, man. At least one of us gets it. Other than me. So, tell me about 8-man line play. How does this work? How many linemen do you have in 8-man football?
For us, we got 3. 3 up on both sides.
Okay.
And it's pretty difficult up front because it's literally just running the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just run blocks the whole time. And yeah, that's about it.
Nice. So you also played nose tackle.
Yep.
If I had to give you a choice, center or nose tackle, which one are you going to take?
That's a tough one. If I can pick center, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
I like to block.
He likes to block. Amen. That's what you got to do. And Brooks, you got to give some love to this guy for blocking for you, right?
For sure.
How about the other 2 guys? Who are the other 2 linemen on the team, Brooks?
So we got Braxton Plants and Isaac Wedgwood.
Uh-huh. And tell me about those guys. I did this to Elijah on the last segment. You got to give me some personality traits out of these big boys.
Braxton, I describe him as, I don't know, how would you describe it? He's kind of, he's very laid back until you get to game time, and then he'll get fired up, and he'll get out there. Wedgwood, he's he's more laid back than Braxton is. He kind of just goes out there and he does his thing. Yeah, there's some stuff he doesn't like, so he'll complain about it. It's a running joke on our team that he likes to complain a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Give me an example.
Like anytime the coaches talk to him, pretty much. But it's nothing bad.
Oh, yeah?
Just joking around.
No, I get it. But like any time, like, hey, get on the bus or
No, not that. But
Not that.
if they tell him if he has to pull a lot, he likes to complain about that. He gets tired.
Oh yeah, big men don't like to move that much.
No, we don't.
No, you like the
It's
run
a lot of
block.
running.
Yeah, amen. Right. Oh, all right, Dane. Tell me about this game last night. How were you guys so successful? How did you put up 63 points on these guys?
I think our receivers, we have pretty good receivers. We're fast. We get to our routes really well. Our defense, I say we were crashing, filling really hard. Linebackers. I don't know. I'd say we all played really well. We didn't really have any huge mistakes, any mess ups. I'd say we were just really good. We didn't nothing huge. Our receivers really good. So yeah,
we're loving the receivers. 63-20 against Wayne. You guys also had a nice win in the first week of the season. Where do you see the season going? You guys are ranked, right? You guys are ranked like number 5 right now.
Yeah, it's 5th.
What kind of goals do you guys have for the season?
So we got a tough one next week against Iowa Valley. They're also ranked. I think they're ranked 3rd right now. So that'll be a tough one. We gotta game plan well, and we gotta go out there and we gotta play physical. And so after that, we got some more tough games. We got Southeast Warren. They're always tough. Baxter's always tough. So we just kind of gotta stay humble, and we gotta go out there and play like we have these last 2 weeks and just get better. And then hopefully it can turn into a good season.
Yeah, there's a guy by the name of Nolan Kriegel that plays for Iowa Valley. He had a monster season last year. We all watch Sickle Conference baseball. We know what he does on the baseball field, things like that. How are you guys going to contain a guy like that next week?
It's going to be tough. He's a good player for sure. I've watched some film on him. So we're just going to have to – there's a couple different things we can do with our D-line to try to, contain him. Don't let him get to the outsides, obviously. 8-man, you got to keep the edge or else it's a touchdown pretty much every time. So you just kind of got to find a way for that D-line to work up front, try to make those gaps as small as possible, and keep the outside and just try to minimize what he can do.
Nice. So one thing I noticed is I was joking about Dane being the coach, by the way. You're not the coach, correct?
Yeah.
Just to be clear. Tell me about the coaching staff. Head coach, assistant coaches. Give me a rundown on who's keeping you guys accountable.
So head coach is John Beck. He's a fun guy. He likes to have fun, but he'll get serious if he needs to. And then defensive coordinator, we have Mikey Lyons, and he's got some good game plans. I like what he does. And then we got a couple assistant coaches. Our line coach, Mr. Smith, he's our science teacher. So he does a good job. He played college football, so he knows his stuff. And then we got just a couple other assistant coaches that are there to get us hype up for the game and do their position stuff, and it's a good staff.
So, Blake, tell me about the practice. What does a normal practice look like for Montezuma football?
So we kind of start off doing our special team stuff, and that doesn't last very long until we go to team offense or team defense. And then we work really hard there, and then we do our individual stuff. Like we'll have our line go to one side of the field, and then skill guys go to the other. And for line stuff, we mainly do just our footwork, and then sometimes we'll hand fight a little bit, but it's mainly just footwork and staying low. And then for the defensive side, it's the same thing for us. We stay low, just gotta contain our gaps, and that's about it.
Fundamental stuff.
Yeah.
So before a game, do you guys have any fun traditions? How do you guys get yourself hyped? Is there any sort of team group activities that go on, or is it just kind of individual stuff?
So we like to listen to music. We got a big speaker that we always bring on the bus, and we like to listen to music. Every year I've been playing, we've always had like a song for the year. This year it's kind of turned into Life is a Highway, Rascal Flatts. So I don't know how that happened, but we listen to that a lot. And then every game we get a speech from our assistant coach partner, and that gets us hyped for the game.
Oh yeah, okay. So assistant coach speech, hype speech.
Yep.
Does anybody do impressions?
No.
No? Brooks, can you do it? You can give us a bit of it.
Let's see. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna play Montezuma football. Never give up. You know, always go out there. We're gonna hit hard, play clean. That's about all I can do. I'm not very good.
All right, we're gonna have these guys score this impersonation.
No.
Blake, on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being the best, how did Brooks do on this deal?
Not gonna lie, it was probably like a 7.
7?
That was pretty good.
It was solid. Dane?
I'd say like a 6.5.
6.5. They're giving you mad love.
Yeah, I don't think it was that good.
What would you give yourself?
Like a 4.
A 4.
I can't get the voice down like he can.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. A for effort. I applaud you. That was really fun.
Thank you.
So next week's Iowa Valley. Where do you guys see yourself taking the season? Are you guys a state championship caliber team?
I think we can be. Yep. First week we weren't as physical as we could be and should have been. And so this week we were a lot better at that, and so we just keep getting better like that. We can have a great season. We can go out there and we can do some great things.
So Brooks, I see you're wearing an Iowa State shirt. I can't let that go by. Is Iowa State a basketball school or a football school?
Basketball.
Basketball school. All right. Is Iowa, the University of Iowa, is Iowa City a basketball city or a football city?
Football.
Okay.
But I'd say they're wrestling. Too.
Wrestling.
Wrestling, for sure.
Yeah, you're a wrestler, right?
No. No, sir.
You kind of have a wrestler build. You have the hair to be a wrestler.
Everybody says that, actually. They keep trying to get me to go off for wrestling.
There, yep. It's the vibes. Maybe in another life you were a wrestler, and I'm picking up on that. All right, boys. I'm excited for you. Great start to the season. Getting back to this town thing, I know I was asking that question. Montezuma. Is Montezuma a football town, a basketball town, or another sport town?
Basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
I heard Dane shout that out, right? And I knew that I had seen Dane before many times. It's not that I didn't know who you were, but it was the basketball court that I know Dane. So Dane, it's the basketball season. We're going to get ahead of ourselves here. How's the basketball team going to be this year?
I say we're going to be pretty good. We're normally pretty good every year. We've never really had like a bad year. We're pretty good record every year. I think we were 20-3 last year. We lost a really good defender and a really good scorer, so it'll impact us a lot. But we still have Brady, Brooks, and Luke, and they're big help. Brooks and Luke are really, really good on defense, so they're really good in that department. We got Brady, of course, can do whatever he wants pretty much. He's really good. And then I'll have me, and then we have a new not a freshman. He's going to be a sophomore now. And his name's Talon. He's going to be really good for center. He was actually Cohen's younger brother, which we lost last year. He was pretty good. Really good height, could score around the hoop really well. And I think we're going to be pretty good this year.
All right. Well, we figured out what Dane can talk about, and it's basketball for sure. So
just got to get his passion.
Got to get to the passion. Blake, what's your passion?
Just football. That's
Football.
about it.
All right,
That's all
brother.
I play.
I love it.
Hey, I was going to say, now you were saying Rascal Flatts, Life is a Highway. Are you familiar with the original Life is
Yes, sir. But
Tom
that's not,
Cochran?
yes, sir. That's not the one we listen to.
You're going with Rascal. You're sticking with Rascal
we
Flatts.
go to Rascal Flatts.
I mean, I would personally go with Tom Cochran.
Was that on the top of your head, Tom Cochran?
I had to Google it.
Okay.
I was thinking it was Tom Cochran's band, which was Red Rider, who did Lunatic Fringe back in the day. You guys familiar with Lunatic Fringe? Oh, you got to listen to that song. Put it on your playlist, Lunatic Fringe. That'll get you psyched up for some football. So, all All right, there you go. Is that it, Andy?
I thought maybe that was a self-reference. Lunatic Fringe. We're over here and you're over there on the fringe.
Well, kind of.
The beatings continue, Steve. I picked up right where I left off the last time.
Yes, I love it. All right. Well, Montezuma football, thank you guys for coming in this morning. Hang tight, and we'll go into our commercial break. We've got SK's Jared Jensen coming up next.
We're always looking for ways to improve, and we do that by embracing new and better technologies.
With each of us having our own areas of expertise, we collaborate together to give you the best care possible.
Striving to give you the best smile, we believe doing things right the first time saves you both time and money.
Keota Community School District, we are proud to lead with innovation, excellence, and the heart. With our student-teacher ratio low, our classrooms are built for connection, giving every student the attention they deserve. We continue with our 4-day school week for the 25-26 school year, creating more time for personalized learning, enrichment, and sport. And the results speak for themselves. In the 2024 ISAF scores, our students ranked number 1 in math and number 2 in English in our conference. That's academic achievement. That's community pride. That's Keota Schools.
Stam Garden Center. Transform your indoor and outdoor space with our stunning selection. Visit us today, open 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, located at 2421 Highway 92, Oskaloosa.
Complete Care of Iowa is a medical clinic located in Sigourney, Iowa that provides care to patients of all ages. Located at 113 East Marion Street in Sigourney. Call 641-541-4040. Complete Care of Iowa is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Tuesday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday by appointment only. They're currently accepting new patients. Find more information at CompleteCareOfIowa.com. Complete Care of Iowa. Healthcare for where you are. Hey, we do thank all of our sponsors on board for the sports section and on Steve Shetler Media. We're, of course, broadcasting live from Barnwired on the south side of the square in Sigourney, Iowa, a great place on a Saturday morning. It has been busy in here all morning long, including all of our coaches and athletes for coming in and hanging out with us here at Barnwired. Get in here for some breakfast and some coffee to get you going on this Saturday morning. Well, as usual, during the football season, we end with Sigourney Keota's Jared Jensen. And Andy, I'll let you take it from here.
Coach, the gauntlet of the non-district rolled again last night, hosting Wilton, first home game of the season, and we dropped 19-14. Coach, what did you see out of the Wilton Beavers last night that gave us fits?
You know, I think defensively they had a good game plan. I think they kind of rode off of what PCM did. We saw similar defense and you know, physicality up front. We at times we couldn't handle it, and you know, so that tells us a little bit right there. We got to find a way to get a little more physical, but we know they're well coached. I spent a week with Coach Hetzler at the Shrine Bowl, and I got a lot of respect for him, and I know the teams he's had in the past. I mean, always well coached, always talented, and you know, they kind of slow played things with their linebackers on the inside, kept the DBs over top, so they, you know, typically when, you know, 8 in the box, okay, we typically have some success, but you know, the last couple weeks we haven't, and when teams are able to just keep 3 guys deep and not worry about them filling on the run, you know, if those 8 guys up front can get us stopped, you know, there's not really an opportunity to pass either, because those DBs are just waiting on the pass. So, you know, I thought they played well defensively against us, gave us some fits. At times we looked well. At times we looked like we weren't on the same page, and that's the reality. We were consistently inconsistent all game long on offense. Defensively, though, I felt really good.
Yeah, you could see the physicality was a piece of it, and you got to give a shout out to Wilton, because fundamentally those guys were breaking us down pretty consistently, especially on the defensive side of the ball. How do you go about bringing along the physicality of the football game? SK's been known for being physical for the full game, and last night I thought we had flashes of it, but not consistently. So how do you bring that out of the kids?
Well, I mean, it's a mentality mindset. They've got to want to be physical first. But when you kind of look at, it, we do have quite a few young guys playing. A sophomore physicality is different than a senior physicality or a junior physicality. And I just think across all levels, like that's how we succeed is our physicality, and we've got to have guys bought into that. We don't want dirty players, but when you're playing on the line, you got to play nasty. And I've always said it. We've got really, really good young men, but we need a little bit of that nasty side coming out of all of them.
Yeah, you got to find that dog in you, right?
Yep.
Okay, so 19-14, that's an improvement on a score from last week, right? So how much growth have you seen from week 1 to week 2?
You know what? I honestly thought we did see a lot of growth. I think the defense took a big step forward. Special teams wasn't where we need to be, but was a lot better than week 1. The film showed a lot on week 1, and luckily those guys were willing to get coached up and understand their roles within the special teams. But offensively, I don't think we took necessarily a big leap forward. I think at times we had plays that looked well, and when you look at those plays, we blocked things well. The plays that didn't go well, we're missing bodies, going to the wrong bodies, going to the second level instead of taking care of the first level. So not that they're all youthful, but again, it's another line that we have a one returning starter. There's a lot of learning going on, and at what point is at some point you've got to understand what your role is, no matter what's in front of you. And I just don't think mentally we're quite there yet.
So, Coach, do you think it's more an execution thing? Do you think it's a talent thing? I'm sure you're going to say it's a combination thereof, but what area are you thinking that those issues exist in the most?
I think execution. I got confidence in the guys we have out there. Just execution. It's got to be every play, not just 1 out of the 3 downs, not 2 out of the 3 downs. For us, 3 plays and a first down is what we're looking for. But we have to be successful and do everything right in all 11 bodies. You get one body not doing something right, bad play is going to happen, and that's kind of what we saw. When we did have 11 bodies doing their job, things went well. When we didn't, things were either a tackle for a loss or stuff to the line of scrimmage.
The SK single wing is all about timing. It's all about mesh points and things of that nature. We talked about it last week. It was a pretty clean scrimmage. The first week at PCM it's tough to gauge what you have because that team was just physically dominant. Do you contribute some of the miscues and some of the timing things with some of the challenges you had over the summer? Normally we do the Camp Dodge thing. That wasn't able to happen this year, unfortunately. Do you think that the summer affected the progression of this team?
No, not really. I mean, we didn't get as much being here for our camp as we would have got out of Camp Dodge, but I don't think necessarily that would have swayed things any different direction. It's just about the execution, and a lot of a couple plays, not blaming the center, not blaming the tailback, but you both have to get the ball to. When we direct snap, the spin back's used to catching the ball. He catches it 95% of the time, but when we do snap with the tailback, it seems like we're just that's where our issue is. Whether it's a little bit of a high snap, we want to catch the ball down here at our waist. And for them to see that ball and get their hands up and catch it over their shoulder could be an issue. Now, there's some that are catchable, just like a receiver. If it touches your hands, catch it, So some of those mishaps, I get it. Our tailback's not used to necessarily catching the ball. The spin backs or the center's not typically used to snapping it to the tailback, but we've got to find a way to make that as consistent as our catching with the spin back, and what that is. I don't know. I don't know exactly why when it's a 4 snap we struggle to catch, but when it's a 5 snap we're fine. So that's something we've got to get figured out. Everybody's got to step up to the plate. You got to be ultra vigilant in your job and doing your job the best you can possibly do it to make this thing work. And if you know, that's the first piece of our offense is catching the snap. And when we don't do that, negative plays happen. And you know, between that and penalties, you know, we're not a 2nd and 15 team or a 2nd and 12 team. We need to be a 2nd and 7.
So looking at these miscues, what do you do to right that ship? How do you get this thing squared back up? I thought we were better, you know, from week 1 to week 2. There were still some miscues, some botched snaps a little bit, you know, a fumble here or there. But, you know, you had some opportunities yesterday. That's a very winnable football game, and you got to feel like that one kind of slipped between your fingers.
Yeah, I mean, when the defensive side of the ball does their job, when we hold teams to 19 points, that's a win for us. I mean, that's a win for us. If our offense is consistent and can put up points, we've just shown that we're so inconsistent. Like last night, you know, it took us up till right before halftime to score. Then it took us up right before the end of the game to score. You know, so a lot of things in between there that if we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, if we pick things up, if we continue to get first downs, and I thought we did a good job of getting first downs. I mean, I think we had around 20, which doesn't make sense when you only have 14 points, but you got 20 first downs. I mean, so there was times we were moving the ball, getting the chains moving, but then something bad would happen. It'd set us back, and there we are having to punt, or you know, had some turnovers last night that we've got to get cleaned up. And you know, we told the guys last night it's getting to that point where we've seen you in action. If we're not getting it done, the reality is we're going to have to find a spark and make some changes and give some other guys opportunities just to see, you know, and, you know, that's going to be an emphasis this week. You've got to get your job done or you are going to be replaced.
Right, so we wrap up Wilton last night, 2A opponent, and now we're going to be going to Mid-Prairie on Friday night next week, who dropped one last night. A bit of a surprise to me. I know it was a really good football game and really close. Mid-Prairie is going to be thirsty for a win on homecoming. What's the week of preparation going to be focused on this week?
Perfection. Coach McCauley said it last night. I challenge you guys when we get out on Tuesday to be perfect. And, you know, because this week, and he was right. On Tuesday, we're jumping, we're doing things that if you want to win ball games, you can't do. And he said right then, you play how you practice. And Wednesday, maybe a little better, still some you know, issues there. Thursday, we kind of had to get on them a little bit. I mean, I just feel like we're going through the plays, we're doing them, but we're not focused on excellence. And I think that's the breaking point. Great teams focus on excellence. Average teams just go out and go through the motions, and you know, we got to keep pushing that line to the excellence, because I mean, the reality is you want to win ball games, you got to do all the little things right, and when you're not doing those right, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
So do you think that that's a youth thing? Because you've mentioned it before, there's quite a few younger folks on this team that are playing in positions for the first time this year at the varsity level, or is that maybe even a morale thing at this point?
You know, I hope it's not a morale thing. I mean, we've been in this situation before. You know, I can't remember what year, but, you know, Jack Clarahan's year, we're 0-2, and then we come out week 3, guns a-blazing, and take down a ranked Centerville team and absolutely destroyed them. And, you know, we hope that's going to be the case, taking that leap forward, understanding that, guys, what you're doing is not working, and if you want to win ball games, we've got to get these things taken care of. And you know, at this point, it's a pride thing. You know, yep. You're 0-2 right now. It's a pride thing. What are you willing to? Are you willing to lay your body out there for the benefit of the team? And if you're not, we can't have you out on the field. We've got to have 11 bodies out there at a time that are willing to just do whatever it takes to be successful. And if you're not one of those 11, then you've got to be on the sideline.
You know, we talked about how the non-district is a gauntlet. You know, the schedule is something you set early, and you set it years ahead of time, right? I mean, it isn't something that you get to pick in July who you're going to be playing at the end of August or first part of September. So when you have a program where SK is, you want those games. But sometimes that roster doesn't come together the way that the progression of the program is going. Does that make sense,
Yeah.
Coach?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you never know what you have, but, the reality is there's two things here. With the success of our program, teams don't want to put us on their non-district list. I mean, we'll reach out to 15 teams, and we're lucky that, we know Mid-Prairie is always on board. We're lucky that Wilton was also looking. They bumped up to 2A, find another team that is a solid team so they can know who they are. And, PCM, they're in the same boat. Nobody wants them on their list. I mean, they've got us. Obviously they played Nevada, a 3A team. They're playing Williamsburg. I mean, I guarantee they didn't necessarily want those guys on their list. But, so it kind of works in the fashion of teams don't want to put SK down. So we've got to find teams that are willing to, and those teams that are willing to are really good football programs, I get it, the outside world, and we told the guys last night we're about 60 deep here between our players, our staff, our managers, everything. You can't listen to the outside noise. I mean, that's the reality. Everybody's got an opinion, but until you're in our shoes and understand what goes on daily, how hard these kids are working, you can view and see it and have your own opinion, but you're not in the war with us. And we play these games to benefit us once we get to the playoffs. I mean, the reality of it is 3 of the teams in our district are still trying to find themselves to be competitive, and maybe 4. We know Regina is going to be Regina, but if we didn't play tough teams early and we got in our district schedule, we're not going to be ready for the playoffs. These games are preparing us for the playoffs. They don't count against us. We want to win. I mean, our players want to win, our fans want to win, our parents want to win, our coaches want to win, and we're all on the same page. But when we play these games, you got to play perfect if you want to win these ball games. And we're learning a lot about ourselves right now, which is going to help us down in the future once we get to district play. But it sucks to lose. Nobody likes it. But at some point, what are we willing to do to change that? That's the reality. What are we willing to do? Not just say what we're willing to do. What are you really willing to do, every single one of us, from coaches to players, to make this thing happen? And, that's where we're on. I mean, I'll be on about a 6 or 8 hour grind on the computer today. I mean, that's I feel the need. We've got to fix every little mistake that we have. We can't leave one unchecked, because that's going to come into play into the next game.
So you mentioned the season where you all went 0-2 and then got that win against Centerville. I was there for that, and I felt it. It feels similar to this. How's the attitude of the team? Do you have that similar vibe off of this team that you had on that one? Every team's different, but
Yeah.
What is the vibe?
I think our we were talking about that last night, and our seniors, I mean, they lived it, they saw it. They understand where we're at. The juniors, I think do as well. Our younger guys might be a little afraid, oh my gosh, we're not, and we try, guys, we're fine. We will be fine. We just have to look at ourselves in the mirror and really challenge each other within whatever your job is within our schemes. And I mean, what is there to do? Soak and be sorry about it? Like I told you earlier, the sun came up today. We're moving on. We're going to be better, and we're going to go out and get them next week.
Yep. The grind's on, Coach. You guys are fighting. I see it. And the sky is not falling. You're playing quality opponents. The good news is we're really injury-free at this point.
Yeah,
I know there's some young guys that are banged up, but as far as the varsity roster goes, it seems that we're pretty much intact. Is that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's some bumps and bruises and things, but overall, this is probably the healthiest we've been through 2 games the last 3 years, probably.
Yeah, right. So I think we got it pointing in the right direction. I can read it on you, Coach. I know you well enough that this one stings. They all sting. nobody comes out of a loss saying, yeah, you know, we don't have work to do, but this season is young. You know, I'm trying not to preach here. Maybe I'll throw that at you. If you had something to say to the masses, those people that are outside of the inner circle of SK football, what would you say to them if they say, oh, the sky's falling?
Watch us throughout the season. You know, I think early on, again, the opponents we play, we're playing teams that are maybe better than us or just as good as us. You know, so the reality is we're going to be playing 3 playoff teams, 3 2A playoff teams right out the gate. You know, and if we lose those, we lose those. But as long as we're learning from it, we're going to be fine. Because once we get to district play, we know there's going to be some teams that are completely undermatched. We know we got an opponent that is top team in one of the top teams in 1A. We've got to find a way to bring it, get past this next game, make improvements, get to that district schedule. But you know, everybody just take a big sigh of relief and know that we're going to get this thing fixed. And you know, you can believe us or you cannot believe us, but come out and watch and you'll see.
Well, I'll tell you, I believe you. We're going to get this ship righted, and we're just growing right now. So this is part of the process, and we'll keep it rolling.
Yep, absolutely. Go Cobras.
All right. Well, thank you, Coach Jensen, for coming in this morning. We'll take another quick break, and Andy and I will wrap things up after this. Find your Iowa dream home with AE Realty in Montezuma. With unparalleled industry knowledge and local expertise, AE Realty is the Montezuma real estate expert you've been looking for. Whether you're buying or selling, AE Realty can help you get the best deal. You can find AE Realty at 321 East Main Street in Montezuma. Call 641-623-2639 or go to aerealtyinc.com.
Early fall days can be pretty warm, and a well-chilled white fruity wine might be very welcome, especially if you're sitting outside. Tassel Ridge, Iowa Edelweiss is an award-winning popular wine that can be sipped or paired with spicy foods. Candle Glow White is a drier alternative that will pair with grilled fish or chicken. And if you're looking for a fizzy wine to celebrate a win by your favorite football team, try our Oski Fasati Pink, a fizzy sweet pink wine. Tassel Ridge wines are available at more than 300 retail outlets, and all are available at Tassel Ridge Winery in Leiden.
Hey, let's wrap up the sports section here on Steve Shuttler Media. Again, we're live at Barnwired in Sigourney. Once again, your scores from last night. The AE Realty High School football results from AE Realty in Montezuma, Iowa. Pekin over New London, 68-20. It was Wilton getting the win over SK, 19-14. Montezuma defeats Wayne, 63-20. It was Madrid shutting out, or Madrid. I said it wrong. Now I'm questioning myself. Madrid over North Mahaska, 50-0. It was Burlington outscoring Oski, 45-31. It was English Valleys beating HLVTC 52-32, one of those normal 8-man shootouts. It was DCG taking it to Ottumwa 49-0. Albia blanks Central Lee 30-0. Linville Sully blanks Cardinal 50-0. And then it was East Marshall defeating EBF 21-16. Let me get Andy all centered on camera. All right. Again, Andy McGuire is our host. I'm trying to figure out which microphone you have. There we go. Andy, we've had a full show. You're back in the saddle as far as hosting for the next few months. Yay! Good to have you back. And you and I usually jive on dad humor and references and all that. Although I didn't
Most
get
everything.
Your Step Brothers reference earlier. I've never seen that movie.
I know, but we're even for that Fringe thing you were talking
Yeah,
about. I have
Lunatic
no idea.
Fringe.
Lunatic Fringe.
You don't know that song?
I don't. No, I'm going to have to check it out.
Dude, that's an awesome song.
Yeah, I know like the Tom Cochran. I know the face of the guy that sang the original
Sure.
version,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't know him to be Tom Cochran. If you told me the name was Tom Cochran, I thought maybe it would be like one of Stacy's associates selling insurance or something like this.
Hi, I'm Tom Cochran, life insurance salesman. So we got Iowa State coming up today. I think you and I are both Iowa fans. You've got an Iowa sweatshirt. I've got an Iowa sweatshirt. Who are you going with? All right, let's put it this way. What does your heart say? What does your brain say?
Hawks by a million.
All right.
That's what my heart says. No. I mean, my heart says Hawks by a million every day, all day.
Sure.
No matter who they're playing. It's naive, but it's real for me. Yeah. But my brain also says Iowa.
Okay.
It does. I hate to say it, but, everybody's, down on Gronowski, paid him a fair amount of money, acknowledged. But what we saw in that first week isn't really who Mark Gronowski is, I hope.
Let's hope. Let's hope he doesn't throw it into the dirt 5 yards in front of his receivers.
I don't think you see that, and I don't know that Iowa State is going to be ready for Iowa's physicality, frankly.
Okay.
And I don't know that they're going to be able to slow us down. I think they're going to be able to move the ball, but it's Iowa bend but don't break. So I'm going Iowa.
All right. My brain says Iowa State. I'm sorry. I've been saying that all week long, and I've been taking a lot of grief for it. But I think it'll just be one of those classic Iowa State close games. My heart says Iowa. My brain says Iowa State. So go Hawks. I'm obviously rooting for the Hawks, but we'll see.
Have you seen the betting lines?
Was it 3?
Is it 3?
I think in favor of Iowa State, last I saw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my rule is always take the under. Always take the under.
Yeah.
But if it's 3, I mean.
Yeah. It'll be one of those 20-17 games, as it usually is.
Usually is, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
But occasionally you get one of those 45-40 triple overtime games. So we'll
that'd be fun. There's nothing sexy about this analysis. It's going to be the same old same, 20-17. Coin the flip the coin. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, we thank Pekin's football coach Weber, and we had Riley Smith, right? That was Riley.
Elijah Brock.
Bubbles. Yes, we had Riley Smith last week. We did. My brain is mush, Andy. We thank Montezuma football for coming on the show. We thank SK's coach Jared Jensen for being on the show. And, it's a full week. Andy, glad to have you back, and we'll do it again next week. It is the sports section, and we're always live from Barn Wired in downtown Sigourney.